in Sokoto a few days ago to see Nnamdi Kanu.
Yeah.
Why was this visit necessary?
Actually, I have a crusade in Sokoto within that season, about 4 days crusade. And within the time, I already done many times see him in Sokoto. Go try to see him in the days he was in DSS custody, but it was not really possible. The attempt to see him actually is because it borders on our people. It borders on Igbo land. It borders on Nigeria as a nation. The man has grown to become the leader of the largest mass movement in the world, or maybe in Africa. And you can't take it away from him. He has followers. I was in Spain. I saw a lot of people talking about his case. I was in Germany. I was in Switzerland. Everywhere you go, you see, but not only Igbos, but Edo people, Yoruba people. A lot of people are keyed into what he's doing. So he cannot remove that fact that the guy is a social leader. If Nigeria keeps a blind eye on that, it may not be to the best interest of Nigerians. And some of the things we will do to a man like this to sometimes go close to him, because one man decides what he does alone. He can run out of the rail. So sometimes going close to him can actually help to bring a blending and then try to bring some, one or two cautions, things that will help him to organize what he's doing or even reconsider certain things about what he's doing. Then again, the Bible also gave us an injunction to go see people who are in prison. Jesus even said on that last day, he will ask us, I was in prison, you didn't come to visit me. And then again, Nnamdi Kanu is anger for Anglican extraction. The mother and the father who died of the attack that happened in their house were all buried by Anglicans. I'm an Anglican bishop, and being a bishop also, so it became important that I go to see him. So I really took out time and pleaded, and then followed all the process, filled out the forms to go see him. And then God granted me the opportunity. I entered the prison and we spent about 1 hour or more talking him. We shared the Bible, we prayed together, we looked at the whole thing. Politically, I put up my own advice to what to tell our people when I go. And so it was important that I see him.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me ask you, what the Nnamdi Kanu you saw in Sokoto prison?
Yes.
What was he like? Has some people say he's down and he's out? What was he like?
The young man is, I think he's created exceptionally. When I was hoping to go to console him and comfort him so I can remain alive and can right from my mind. But when I got there, was one encouraging me, rather, was the one telling me that, well, so don't worry. I should tell our people to calm down, that people should not get into violence or take law into their hands. It's not party to killing people. That he doesn't come to kill our people. That we tell them not to go into any kind of violence, because if they do, the international community and the rest of the church will turn the terrorists indeed. So it was the one encouraging me, was in fact, I don't know, everybody in that prison, all the prison warders became his friends. I mean, he'd be so liked among them. In fact, yesterday I saw one of the prison warders commenting, I have never seen, and it was online, anybody like Nnamdi Kanu before. And I also learned when he was in DSS, the entire DSS fell in love with him. So the guy has this likable nature, and I even thought he's a violent man. That was the first time seeing him. But when I met him, he was a very calm, cool man. He was in the right frame of mind, in good faith, full of confidence and hopeful. I don't think he's that at all. The guy is living, really has stepped over what has happened to him. I believe he's living in the next world. He's not living in this direction. If I were him, I'll be down. I'll be complaining. But
so if you want to make a remote.
Now, Nnamdi Kanu has been agitating for a separate identity, a separate nation. Your worship, I'm not going to lead you into temptation. I'm going to ask you, the man you met, did you get his attitude toward that separatism now?
He said that this is one thing the Nigerian nation and the world will really sit down to look at. Ideological war is not fought with guns and bombs. The Biafran issue is identity and ideology. It's something you may not be able to clean up completely. I didn't see Nnamdi Kanu as somebody who is willing to drop his identity and the idea of Biafra. Because if you follow trends, you will know that even the Nigerian Biafra war happened because of this reason. And if you go through IRA declaration of Ojukwu, you will see some of the things he said that were the reasons for the war. So he didn't get into the war because war was something very pleasurable. But he said that some people of the Near East have conquered our brothers in North Africa and they want to conquer us too. So we say, no, these are part of the ideologies. And then Nnamdi Kanu, also being an intellectual, has gathered a lot of information that is not known to many of us. these things are influencing and following what he's doing. So the best approach to this is not even imprisoning him. It is not guns. It's not trying to point it. You don't point. He's like, I tell you, you're not my man. There's nothing I would do to tell you to accept you're not my man, except you are possessed. So it's not possible to clean up. Even the Arawa, the other part of Nigeria, the Arawa, no, they still say it were other ones. The ones were other ones. The fact that several nations were brought into one country. So it's something Nigeria should sit down in a national conference and allow every nation and ethnicity in this country to be represented. And then issue of Nigeria will be properly gazetted and the new law made, new constitution. Belgium is not one country. They have several languages, but they are existing. Switzerland, 3 major languages. In fact, they don't even hear each other, but they are progressing. Canada has 2, mainly progressing. South Africa has as multiple as Nigeria, but they are progressing. So our own problem is an issue I don't know how to. It's an extreme ethnocentrism. In all these places, so even America is also multicultural. But there is a working law. There's an agreement. There's one. This is all. So the country is working because they have a constitution and they are executing the constitution. They are enforcing the laws. If you call somebody a nigger in America, police comes on you. Whether you're a white man or the law works. So everybody has to live by the law. Even a foreign in America has rights in USA. In UK, for instance, if you commit a crime, the government of England, to be sure they're not imprisoning the wrong person or sentencing the wrong person, will give you money to buy a lawyer if you don't have money to buy a lawyer. Or they give you a lawyer if you choose otherwise. So that they can be sure you are properly tried, prove your case before they can sentence you. But you see, in Nigeria here, it's not so. So I don't see Nnamdi Kanu backing out. So what is being done may not be the right approach. The right approach would have been to really listen to this young man by the state and our politicians in the East consistently to find out what he's talking about and give a direction to it. And so that peace can reign. Anyway, my brother, I don't see him as somebody who is willing to die there. He's not even willing to. Not ready to, I don't think. Because we spoke. I tried to talk to you. I don't think it's somebody who's giving up. But eventually, I think he's learning wisdom from his mistakes. That's what I can say about that from the things we discussed. So if he's given an opportunity again, he may not approach things the way he approached them before. But as for education, you cannot say that Igbos are not marginalized. Nobody, even the presidency knows that. Even Hausas, core Hausas who are good, will tell you that what is being done is not good. Right in Sokoto, I interacted with a lot of people. I found that even some Hausas, some Fulanis, and other nationals are in sympathy with Nnamdi Kanu, even in that prison. So it's something that is so glaring that we can't wish it away. It's like postponing the evil day. We have to meet that day today. So send the Nnamdi Kanu to prison. He may die, he may be there. If you succeed in putting him there for life. But have you killed the ideology? Others will soon rise again. But when you nail this thing by dialogue and coming to round table to discuss it, maybe the inclusion of the Igbo man in the schemes of Nigeria, from what Nnamdi Kanu told me even, one of the things he said is that if Igbos were considered in the scheme of Nigeria as part of this country, he wouldn't have reasons for extension for Biafra. Because for him, the whole Africa can be a country. America is big. The whole country, Africa can be a country. But there must be a working law. He said there's a constitution in the country that is working. And if his people, Igbos, are included, that when he met the governors in the East, he requested of them only 3 things he would drop legislation. He told me this. He said he asked them to do the road from Enugu to Port to Owerri, to Onitsha to Enugu, and then give us seaports. These are the 2 things he requested from. And second, Niger Bridge, 3 things. That if this is done, he will have resigned, he will have surrendered this thing. He's not asking for anything from the government, from what he said to me. And when I look at him, I couldn't persuade him otherwise. I have to also become soft, trying to agree with some things he was saying, because we are in Nigeria, we see what is happening in Nigeria. Where if you import something that is going down to the East, so these things are not things we just continue talking about because Nigeria government.
Yes, but now I want to talk about the Nnamdi Kanu. He gave you some message for people.
Yes.
I'm one of your people.
Yes. Yeah, the message he gave me, he was very optimistic. He said something like this, that he was never the one engineering the killing of people in Igbo land. He was saying this as almost an oath, telling me he has never been the one. He might have made statements out of anger, But he has never been the one commanding for people to be killed in the East. He said that to me. And then he said to me that he has written a letter with his own hand when he was in DSS and gave it to, I think, either a lawyer or somebody, one of the lawyers, to go to some countries in Europe where some people are speaking from commanding sit at home and the rest of them to tell them that sit at home is hampering on Eastern economy, doesn't want it to continue. To tell them to resist from killing our people. But, and all the things they were doing. He also told me something I've never heard about before. In the East, there are about 4 different people who are causing mayhem. He said that the first group is imported. He supposedly believes he's sponsored from somewhere here in the center, from outside, causing mayhem to tag him, an evil man, to do what they're doing today on him. And then number 2, he said that economic or non-government people who gather in there, just like the bandits now. Yes. All the bandits are not jihads. All the bandits are not sponsored. All the bandits are not into religious genocide. Only some people are economic bandits. Like there are some in the East, they kidnapped my priest too. In the East, and when they brought the ransom, they let him go. So they were economically you can't call that one criminals who kidnap people and make money from them. And sometimes when you struggle with them, they kill. And they also are non-government, and they call them IPOB. And there's another group that is called, I think, Pilot or so. I don't know what those ones represent. And then there is an IPOB move, which is purely extension for the liberation of the black man and defense of the borderland of, according to him, Biafra. So that he has not been involved in some of these killings. He told me that some of the things he's sentenced for were things committed while he was in DSS custody. So how could he have done that? He said he begged DSS several times to allow him to address the Igbos on camera so that they would know his mind. They didn't give him that chance. So he now told me, since I'm able to see him being a bishop, that I should go and tell our people not to take the laws in their hands and not to be so angry to start doing riots and protesting, because he could lead into all kinds of chaosity. He said I should tell them to be calm, that they are taking due process, going through the laws and procedures of the law to secure his release. He showed me irregularities. He has 140-something pages judgment delivered by the motorcycle. Yes. And then he had it in front of him. He was showing me the charges and opening to show me irregularities between the charges and the sentences. I said, so if this thing stands in appeal, he will know there's nothing called Nigeria anymore, because the whole thing for him is a shenanigan. He showed me where they say they committed a crime in UK, but the UK court has not tried the case. But Nigerian court is trying what was committed in another land. It is not. He said that the law with which he was condemned was a repealed law. He was asking for them to show him the law, but it looked to him like the judge was doing the case for the prosecutor. So it looks like for him, the judge became the prosecutor. Because I was trying to ask him why the outburst in the court. So he told me he busted out in the court because he felt that this is injustice that cannot be taken anymore. So he couldn't take it anymore as a human being. He has to bust in that way because he saw, according to him, the judge almost doing the case for the prosecutor, which shouldn't be. The judge should be an unbiased umpire. Prosecutor will bring out his evidences and he will counter the evidences. He said they try so much, it is his right. That most of the objections he raised during witness, that the judge told them not to raise, he won't accept it, that he will only accommodate them in the final written address. But now he denied them the right of the final written address. So, he was so angry about it. He told me he was rendition from Kenya. So there is no ground. Having broken law, for you that goes to equity, goes to clean hand. That the appeal court has decided him before. I think High Court also decided him in this matter. But the matter is retried. That the law does not allow criminal matter to be retried after it is decided. He said he was not given ample time even to defend, if he was even going to defend himself. He said he applied for motion to question the jurisdiction of the court. But in every same court, the judge should have dropped the sentence first and attend to the motion. And possibly squash it. Give judgment on that before he continues with defense. But that was not given. He only foreclosed him and sentenced him. So for him, he feels that the sentence was written before even the trial commenced. And that was why he opted to defend himself instead of legal men. So he said those are the reasons why he busted out. But he now said again that he has confidence that Nigeria actually has not deteriorated to that level where such illegality can stand. That appeal court, he believes, will do justice. So that Igbo youths, IPOB, whatever group, the Ohanese, everybody should calm down. Those who want to support him in the trial, as lawyers, should get involved. Those who have any idea to bring as Igbos to get involved, instead of creating mayhem in the streets and burning shops and destroying land. Even the Monday at home, he said he's not interested in it. That is not helping the matter. He's making his case worse. Because one of the things he was sentenced, whether he was one who created sit at home. But he was not. He said they said he bombed America or bomb UK, I don't know. Embassy. He said, when did he do that? That kind of never happened. And a lot of other things he was saying, but you could see him quietly, calmly telling me this. So I was like, why not be this calm in the court? He said, he now gave me the reasons why he could not take it anymore than to bust out. He said he has been incarcerated for 5 years. Whereas he has been released. He will have been discharged for that, and the new case can be verified. But that was not done. He has been kept against his will. So those are the, you can't blame a man who has been in prison for almost all this long. His mind also may not be in the right frame, so he can bust out. And again, even our boss does not state the judgment because it's only a content of the court. The judge can do anything on that, but the judge also seems to be emotional as well. And the man who stands an umpire shouldn't be emotional. He should look at law and deal with issues from the perspective of the law. And all of these were his own views. So people, both Nigerians and the Biafrans, we know that when he was sentenced, it looks like somebody died. The entire place became quiet. It looked like the hope of majority of the Nigerian people was buried. But it was like, don't bury your hope. That God is the hope, not Nnamdi Kanu. And then they say that everybody should relax. Even if he's killed, they should relax. But he doesn't think he'll be killed. That he believes the appeal court was passing. He also believes that Tinubu is wise enough to do the right thing. Those are his words in the prison there. So I prayed for him, and then we shared the word of God. I encouraged him, and I encouraged him also to coordinate, himself. And then in fact, he was happy I came. He was so happy that I came from religious, side. Because all the times people who go to him were lawyers. This matter, I came from a different angle, and then he was so happy. So we prayed together. I didn't go with food. They wouldn't allow me to give him food, but I just prayed for him, and then I left. Reality is type. I can say that it's rare. Because in the midst of that, he's living like a man who is so living above the situation he's into. When he made mention of his heart condition, I don't know how he's being taken care of in the prison, but in all, I think he's not depressed as I thought, because we went to comfort and encourage him so I can remain stand strong, and then also share one or two things from the gospel with him so that we can also pray together, which we did. So I think if you ask me, he was even advising and encouraging us, telling me to tell the BIAFRAN youths, the Igbo youths, to calm down, and that they shouldn't take any law in their hands, that they should all be in the right frame of mind, that they shouldn't go to start destroying things, that the cause of the law is taking effect. He believed that the judgment was full of injustice, that the appeal court will certainly correct it. He showed me some irregularities in the charges in comparison to the sentences. Some of the things he was sentenced for were the things that happened while he was in DSS custody. So he was asking me, how could I have done these things in the custody of DSS? From him, I discovered that about 3 to 4 unknown gunmen in the East. One of them, according to him, is those imported from outside to destabilize the East so they can attack him with it. Number 2 is what he call economic unknown gunmen, those who are making money from the situation, just liberating on that to sack people. And the other one, the other guy in Finland, who he said he wrote a letter with his hand to him to let him know that he's not supporting what he's doing.
Now, outside his health condition where he talked to you about, did he express fear or concern about his ability to pursue his appeal, and looking at the distance from Abuja and his legal team?
Those were actually main areas of his concern. Apart from that, he was very composed in the prison, but he was raising concern because he was right there talking to the either Controller General or one of the directors of prison that came to, because as we were talking, people were there, some prison warders were there to monitor what we were saying, to be sure we were not discussing. Yes. But I think what the Controller General came in along the line to let us know that our time has elapsed. I came in about 3 times, and I had him raising an issue that he's supposed to be in Abuja tomorrow to reconcile his record with the high courts before they proceed in filing in the appeal court, without which appeal court cannot hear his case on foot. And he has only 90 days window to pursue this case. So he was not quite happy that no signal had been given to Sokoto to bring him to Abuja on 28th to do that and return back. I also heard when he was requesting to talk to his lawyer over an issue that the lawyer was raising about misunderstanding about some things he wrote in, he gave him to file for him.
He's feeling bad about not being able to speak to his lawyer. But I remember very well that he sacked his lawyers.
No, he didn't sack his lawyers.
It was everywhere.
No, he didn't sack his lawyers.
So what did he do?
He decided to defend himself in this case, and he employed the lawyers as consultants to advise him.
That was what he told you?
Yes.
Okay.
So they were still working. Even when I was there, one of the lawyers came in with me, Dr. Barsakelichi, and I landed Jimako, and Maxwell came a day before I came, and things like that. So the lawyers were still working with him, but they work as consultants with him. When he saw the way the tragedy of the case, he felt, let me defend myself in this one. Because he was saying that the court has no jurisdiction to try him. He raised about 3 points in that. I'm not a lawyer. He said that there was an addition from Kenya, that is abridging already an existing international law, that there will have been a formal process of bringing him down from Kenya. That was not done. He was kidnapped. By that kidnap alone, that the case had been messed up. He also said that the law upon which he was tried in terrorism was a repealed law. In 2013 or so, it was repealed. That the law is no more in existence. So that alone has spoiled the case. And then he also mentioned that the crimes he committed, according to them, he committed them in London. And that case should be tried in London, not in Nigeria. And again, that nobody would have been a terrorist talking. Like something like churches who pray, die. If they say die, and people die, would they say that they are the ones who kill them? If you don't catch anybody in the act with a gun shooting, he also raised alarm that are people who carry gun around that have not been arrested. I don't want to go into those ones.
If you say he was supposed to be tried in London, he was brought back to Nigeria and he was tried in the competent court.
That's the point. It was that the court, being competent, has no jurisdiction over the matter. Because of this point he raised. That's why he challenged the jurisdiction. He put a motion for challenging the jurisdiction of the court. And according to him, the court did not pay attention to that motion at all. That according to the
because somebody who is on trial, do you think it's right for that person to exhibit some certain behaviors while in court?
That is also an issue from another lawyer who was there. He behaved rudely. But the lawyer said that he understands why he was behaving rudely. There was not giving room to tender his final written address, which is a right of every defendant, that the court refused him tendering that. And that is a kind of incriminating him. But that's the only way he can put a defense to every allegation that was levied against him in that place.
Like telling the judge got
no, because when he said that was when the judge denied him that final written address. He now knew that this is an injustice. It is not normal with the law court.
Are you in support of Kanu?
I'm not in support of what he did in the courts, but I also know he's a human being who can overreact. Even Jesus one day became angry.
Are you supporting him for everything from the beginning to where he is right now?
I did not support some of his actions, but I support his agitation.
Hello, my name is Councillor Ukonu Obasi, based in the United Kingdom. I just wanted to make this video to react to the judgment made by the Nigerian court on Nnamdi Kanu, where the court found him guilty of terrorism charges and sentenced him to life imprisonment. And I want to say this. It is wrong. It is very wrong. First of all, you have no jurisdiction to make that, to try the case in the first place. One, this is someone who was illegally detained, right? So you detain someone under the guise of having done something, and you found out that where he committed the alleged crime was outside of your jurisdiction. So by your own admission, this alleged crime was committed in the United Kingdom, and you're alleging that you have jurisdiction to charge someone for crimes that they committed in another jurisdiction that you have no power over. Second, okay, there's already a judgment that that shows that you tried to assassinate this person when he was a ward of the court. So there's a judgment against the Nigerian state. He did not jump bail. He escaped an assassination attempt. And in doing so, Nigeria broke international law to go to Kenya to abduct him, carry out extraordinary rendition to force him back to Nigeria against international law. And you cannot therefore have legality on the back of illegality. So once you have a situation where you've already broken the law to bring someone illegally into Nigeria, you don't have any basis to put that person on judgment. And then the crimes, the crimes you're even using to judge him on is one that you repeal. The Nigerian court repealed the very laws that they're charging him with. So how can you charge someone with a repealed law? It's not possible.
Hold on, my brother. That's because in Nigeria, elephants can fly. Only in Nigeria, when it comes to us, the Biafrans, everything goes. Everything's on the table. when it comes to us, they can do the unthinkable. Let the whole world hear this. When it comes to we, the Biafrans, the government of Nigeria will do the unthinkable. They will do something that even sometimes the whole world will frown at them. How is this possible? But unfortunately, once it's done, even the media houses of Nigeria don't speak about it. So when it comes to us, unfortunately, the hatred is unified against us. I keep saying this, when it comes to the Biafrans, there is something they call unity in disunity. They know there is tribalism happening in Nigeria. They know about the killings, the genocide of the Christians in Nigeria. But the only time they will unify is when the activities or the issues have to do with us, the Biafrans. But I'll fall back and allow you to complete your speech. Continue, please. I'm so sorry for stopping you.
Practical. And to cap up the hypocrisy of it, you have a country that is negotiating with terrorists, paying ransom to terrorists, cuddling terrorists, integrating them into the army, and saying that these people who have committed heinous crimes against the Nigerian people, against the Nigerian state, that these people should be free. They're allowed to be free. They enjoy money, wealth, protection, even from the Nigerian state. But someone who simply demanded self-determination through referendum for people who have been marginalized and continue to be marginalized, you're saying that you're going to sentence the person to life imprisonment. The world looks at Nigeria and it's a joke.
A joke.
It's a mockery. It's sad. It is unfortunate. But at the same time, it is not unexpected because we know that Nigeria is a failed state by every definition. And it is behaving this way because it is a failed state. If it was a country that had legality, you wouldn't have a situation where this process was the joke that it is, a kangaroo court. If you had a sane process, you wouldn't have the victims of NSAS still being prosecuted. You wouldn't have no person sanctioned or punished for the massacre that occurred in October 2020 in Nigeria. You wouldn't have months and years of killings, kidnappings going on from community to one community to another, and nothing is being done to address it. You wouldn't have that in a sane society, and politicians still parading themselves as some kind of authority and legality in a country that obviously has failed in its responsibility to protect the people. So that is where Nigeria is. But the more they do this, the more they make the case for Biafra. The more they make the case why no sane people would want to be associated with such nonsense. They make the case for Biafra. They are the ones who demarcate Nigeria more than anybody.
Yes.
The Nigerian government is the one that demarcates Nigeria. So it is unfortunate, but it tells us exactly what we need to know about Nigeria, and even more reinforces the case for freedom for Biafrans.
God bless you, sir. Wow. Say no more. Say no more. You've spoken my heart. You've spoken well. It is clear that sometimes, I don't know how this thing happens. Maybe it's the water we drink in the Western world. Maybe it's because when you're in the Western world, suddenly food does not be, how should I put it? Food is no longer your problem. And then slowly you start to reason like a human being. You leave your animalistic culture, your animalistic way of life. your tribalistic way of doing things, your nepotistic Oyibo way of carrying out activities. You let go retapism and the rest of them, red tape, and start thinking like a thinking man. Because back in Nigeria, I remember till this day, people are praying for their daily bread. It means when your mind is not at rest, when your mind is not at ease, when you are communicating with God, you are communicating and praying into a different, I'll say into the 9th dimension. And what you are asking God for is your daily bread. That tells me you are not a free man. That means you are still immaturish in your reasoning. You are still a baby, an infant, the way you reason as a human being. You are less than a human. When the Western world called us to third of a human, to call a spade, what they meant was the states they saw some of you in Africa. You were not reasoning like humans. You still had your animalistic tendencies. Because it makes no sense until you're upright and start to think like a human being. That's when they'll regard you as humans. Because I keep asking myself, those that run Nigeria, when I look at these guys in government positions, what they do is just freestyling. They freestyle stuff. By God's grace, they freestyle, say, now God go do and by God's grace. There is no accountability, integrity, and responsibility in Nigeria when it comes to the government parastatals.